Hi guys, I'm Sade and welcome back to Soul Revival. This week we have a guest on my channel. As you can see, it's not just me. This is Daniela.
Hello guys.
Do you want to tell the guest a little bit about yourself, who you are, how do we know each other?
Sure. So we met at Nuffield Health, where
Yes.
I used to work as a PT. I'm still a personal trainer and an online coach, as well as a lifestyle coach. And I met Sade at Nuffield, and
Try to force me to do abs.
I was doing like it was a 360 health check, wasn't it? And you came in, we did like an assessment, and we hit it off, I'd say, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then I left Nuffield, ended up going to another gym, and we just got back in touch recently. I saw Sade, she put out her episode for Soul Revival, and I absolutely loved it. And I was like, girl, you're going to have to get me on here.
And we did, and here we are today.
And here we are.
Yeah. What stage? So I was saying, I would like for every guest to introduce themselves and tell us about the stage in their life that we're at. So here on Soul Revival, on Soul Revival, we talk a lot about, healing, recovering from traumas, becoming your best version of yourself, becoming empowered. So I always like to ask, and I would love to know what stage of your life you're at right now.
Yes.
And how would you define that?
I am in my building my foundations stage. That's where I'm at the moment. And very driven and focused, working on just building my business. And it's all very, very exciting. I've got tunnel vision and it's all good. It's looking good.
Yeah. I'm excited. Even I've seen the changes. Well, I didn't follow you on social media before.
How dare you?
Well, you didn't give it to me, so I don't know who's to blame. But I've seen recently even how you're really focused on your own self and your own coaching and your business, which is amazing. And is there anything you would like for the people watching to know about you if they wanted to, work with you or?
Yes. So
she likes burpees.
I actually do. I actually do, and I don't mind Bulgarian split squats too. So call me a psycho, but hey ho. I, as a coach, I really strive for balance. That's something that I strive for in my everyday life. So when I work with my clients, I want to help them kind of reach that stage in their life where they can have basically everything they want, and still get the results that they want. And it is possible. It's more sustainable as well. And that's why I like to call myself a lifestyle coach as well, because it's not just about creating a workout program and a nutrition guide. It's building more of a resilient mindset, learning to build confidence and love yourself. And I think when you intertwine all those things together, you'll end up kind of, reaching those goals. So I do face-to-face coaching, but I'm predominantly working more towards online coaching. I really love that you said that. It's something that out of every coach I've ever worked with, I think that's why I liked you kind of the most, because it's so easy. As in, it's very balanced, and I've never felt super stressed with working out, even whenever I came and did the checkups with you. And I think it's the time where I've lost the most amount of weight the easiest way. Because all I've done was just change some lifestyle choices, work out and do it at my own pace. And previously, when I've had trainers before, I was always forced to undereat and then work out super much. And I like that I've had amazing results and I feel great now 6 months later. Like when I met you, I was not in the best space mentally and physically. And then to see where I'm at now, I've really appreciated it. I think it's made more of a difference than coaches I've had in the past. Oh, I love that. And you look great, girl,
Thank you.
I was going to say, when I saw you, I was like, oh,
Yeah, and I'm not doing burpees.
There you go, burpees. You don't
That's
have
the
to do
proof.
them.
Yeah,
You don't have to do them.
Yeah.
Only if you're psycho like me and you like them. But yeah, like that's the thing. Sometimes we fixate so much on like the physical aspect of it. You know, we want to look a certain way, or we want to look like that celebrity. You know, who's got those 6-pack abs.
Yeah.
And the thing is sometimes when we fixate on those kind of goals a little bit too much, it actually takes you away from what you actually truly want to get out of it. Like that's why you have to kind of go deep a little bit. Ask, why do you want this? Like really why? And that's kind of like what it was for me as well. Like, should I talk a little bit about my journey? And how
So absolutely. And for today's episode, we wanted to talk about especially trauma in the body and how it's impacted. So this will be very connected.
Yes. So I was always really sporty as a child anyway. My mum had us, like me and my siblings, playing all types of sports from a really young age. But I never really considered, you know, kind of going into sports or anything like that at all until later on in life. And it mainly happened, I went traveling, I went to Australia and was living my best life out there. And then lockdown happened, was a pandemic even, and I was working out there and I'd actually lost my job in Australia and I had to make the decision to either stay there or come home. And obviously my family were like, you know, you should come home. You're like a 24-hour flight away from home.
Did you come home from Australia in the pandemic?
Yeah.
Because that's when I was there in Sydney.
Yeah, I remember we talked about this, remember? Yeah.
It just hit me now. So if you would have stayed, we might have met there.
We could have, yeah. I think our paths sort of aligned.
Yeah, wow.
I know. And it was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make because I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I felt like I'd met a friend out there. We were living together. I had 2 jobs on the go and suddenly it was just taken away like that.
Yeah.
But in the end, I had to come home because there was no way of me staying there without any, you know, financial security or a job.
Yeah, it was crazy there as well because then when the border shut, that was it.
That was
for 2 years.
They were like, that's it. If you decide to stay, then you can't go. And I was like, damn, like this pressure.
So decision A and decision B.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
This is like a life altering, you know, decision. And funnily enough, my other friend who I travelled with, she's still living out there actually.
No way.
She was also thinking about coming home, but she ended up staying and she's living out there. She's got a job. She's met someone. So it's crazy.
Nice, yeah.
What would have happened? I don't even know what would have happened if I stayed.
You might have been a Bondi babe.
Maybe. But then would I have ended up becoming a personal trainer?
True,
and I think everything has its like a silver lining.
Yeah,
it's a blessing in disguise, isn't it? Because had I not left, what kind of life would I be living? And then when I came back home, I had I was living this independent life in Australia, right? And then from that, I came home to living back with my parents, no car, no job. That's
where I'm at right now.
I was also 25, 26 actually. But it was quite a low point in my life. And I remember just like looking in the mirror and thinking, damn, like I wasn't happy with how I looked. I think I was probably like the heaviest I've ever been as well. And I was like, right, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity now to like make some changes, right? So I was watching like the Sean Insanity workouts. Have you ever heard of Sean T Insanity?
No.
Like his workouts are actual insanity. Like it's all body weight, no weights, but oh my God.
I need to look it up. Or maybe no, I don't know.
That's what we're going to do today.
Yeah, oh God. Well, we will be doing some exercises in a bit and I'm scared.
Nail burpees. So I was doing his workouts and then I also like created my own like nutrition plan as well, which I followed. And within like 3-4 months, I managed to get myself. Also, one thing I didn't do is I didn't fixate on like a certain weight on the scale. That's something I will kind of pinpoint later as well. I was just like, I just want to feel strong. I just want to feel good in myself. I don't really care so much about having abs or looking a certain way. I was just like, I just want to get to a point where I feel mentally and physically strong. Yeah. And that happened within 3 to 4 months. I was like really, really happy with what I got myself. And I just thought to myself, if I can do this for me, I can do this for other people. Yeah. And it was suddenly just like this epiphany of like, have I just found my passion? Like something that I will be really driven and happy to do, and also it'll be so rewarding because I'll be helping other people. So in lockdown I then completed my personal training course online within 6 months, smashed it out, and in that time all the gyms started opening up, so it was just the perfect time. And then that's how I just kind of ended up getting into personal training, and then online coaching. I got into that about 1.5 years ago, and here I am today.
Yeah, wow. That's inspiring. It's giving me hope because I feel like I'm at the stage, just coming out of that stage when you came back from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I knew a bit about it, but not fully the full story.
Yeah. How do you, like, where, because obviously I was around the same age, 25, 26.
Yeah.
Like, it is quite a scary time. Like, that's such a important age as well, where you start to kind of think about, you start asking those big questions like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Where do I want to be?
I think it's the age that you start to realize everything that you have been, at least that's for me. Some people maybe it's later or earlier. The past year I've spent it realizing whoever I've been my whole life, has this been really authentically me? And where am I heading? And I think I've reached a point where, especially last year when I was in hospital, and we talked about it in last week's episode, I've just started shedding. Yeah, what's the English word? Shedding. Every part of me that isn't fully me and that's been created by things that I've heard from other people or habits that I've picked up along the way, and just spent the past year just becoming who I am. Yeah. And I keep, a lot of people say aging is such a bad thing, blah, blah. I love aging. Like, the older I get, the less I care about stuff. Mm-hmm. The more I reconnect with who I am, the more I understand who I am, the easier life is. And I think, although the past year has been very hard mentally, because I haven't been where I wanted to be financially, I haven't been where I wanted to be relationship-wise. Like, I did move back here because I had feelings for somebody, and then that didn't really work out. And then body-wise, I wasn't initially where I wanted to be. Then living again with your family is not the best after you've lived in Australia for so long. But yeah, right now, I feel like I'm finally myself. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that has helped was especially this shift I've done physically with training, but not necessarily to have more confidence in myself. It was, for you guys don't really know, I haven't spoken to you much about it, but I did go for a lot of childhood traumas that have created a big impact on my physical health, not even just my body, but just internal autoimmune disorders and issues with inflammation. And I spent years trying to figure out what workouts, what foods I need to eat. And the past 6 months has been the best life-changing results, because I've learned how to not heal on the physical way, but on the emotional way, and release certain traumas. I didn't realize a lot of issues as well in my guts were connected to certain types of CPTSD related symptoms, so complex trauma related symptoms. And that's what we wanted to talk about today. We wanted to talk about how certain events can impact your body on an energetic level, and how that trauma or traumatic experience gets stored in your cells, and all of that memory will stay there, and there's ways to release it and process it. And we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to move. We're going to move around and show you some exercises that Daniela will mainly be in charge of. I'll be in charge of the shaking your bums, because as you all know, a lot of trauma gets stuck in your hips. So shaking the hips works.
Especially for the women, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's start now.
Yeah, literally. This is the episode, and now we're going to shake for an hour.
Shake your ass.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's honestly one of the light bulbs moments in my mind was, okay, well, if I've done all of this therapy the past 4 years, mentally I feel like I'm in a good place, but physically, why do I get sick? Every month I was getting tonsillitis or getting sick, and I was thinking, I'm doing all the healthy stuff. Yeah. I'm working out. I'm eating so many vitamins and vegetables and protein. I'm doing everything. Why am I still sick physically? And I'd get cold and my skin would break out. And then muscles, when you work out at the gym, I don't think you should be that sore that you need to take 4 days off. I think when your body is just not really recovering the way you're meant to.
Yes, absolutely.
There's more underneath going on.
I think when maybe if it's been a while since you've trained, or maybe you're a newbie to the gym, like if you're starting a program for the first time, you will probably feel quite sore the next couple of days. But if you're finding that every single time, like consistently, then I think obviously there's more of a bigger issue there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that makes sense. Like if your body is quite weak and you've got like your immune system, is quite weak, then like physically it will take longer for you to recover. You will be more prone to like, illnesses and diseases.
Yeah.
So,
And I don't know, from my experience, for example, I don't know if this has happened to you before, because you just mentioned after a few months you're in the best shape. I work out for a few months and then I go back to the old patterns. And that's what I started noticing. I was thinking, why am I working out so hard for 6 months? And then as soon as I reach my goal, I give up. And that's when I started to realize there's something deeper.
Yeah.
And our bodies a temple. It's a vessel to our soul. So we just really need to take care of it. And it's
back to your why as well. Like maybe when you did reach that goal, for instance, like physically, you mentioned it was like a physical goal, revert back to your why, because that's what I mentioned is again at the start about like how a lot of the time people have like a physical goal, and once they reach that goal, they're like, okay, where do I go from there? And then I think for someone maybe like yourself who's gone through quite a lot of trauma, you're quite self-aware, so it's more than that, it's more of a deep-rooted issue. Then maybe in order for you to be able to sustain that goal long term, you need to go deeper a little bit more and ask yourself, why am I really doing this? What is it that I really actually want to get out of this? And is it more to, is it to feel stronger? Is it to be more like mentally resilient? And
I think right now, so I was doing more research as well to prepare for this episode. And one of the big reasons now that I'm so motivated is not to work out, but to release this energy in your body. There's studies that show that literally if you've gone through any sort of adverse episodes in childhood, you're 190% more likely to experience cancers, diabetes in your life. And there's another one, diabetes, cancer, and there's one other of the big ones.
Heart disease.
Heart disease.
High cholesterol,
compared to somebody that's had a non-traumatic childhood. And I was thinking, okay, all right, I need to work on that. And then the second one is you're 240% more likely to suffer from alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and all of those that we know lead to other health diseases. So pretty much you need to really work on your trauma, because otherwise,
100%.
like not just mentally, physically, your body is creating a lot of internal stuff.
Forget mental health is super, super important. I think it's actually important that we actually fixate on that, work on your mental health, and then focus on the physical. Because once you get your mental health, once you start working on your mental health, then the physical aspects and all of that will just naturally come on its own. I think it's like a lot of the time when like clients come to me and they're like, oh, I want to reach this goal, right? They'll have like a plan. They're like, okay, this is what I want to achieve. I'm like, fine. And then we start working, and then we start to realize that actually the reason why they're struggling to stick to plans, or why they're struggling to be disciplined and motivated is more of a deep-rooted issue. If they actually focused on working on that, then it would be a lot easier for them to reach those goals. And things like, nutrition plans and stuff like that, like anyone can really follow that. But if you're struggling with like binge eating or emotional eating or anything like that, it's going to be really difficult for you to stick to that plan, no matter how hard you motivate yourself or whatever. Like you're never going to be able to stick to it long term if you've got all those deep-rooted issues that need to be looked at. And as a personal trainer as well, like that can be really tricky, because I don't want to turn people away and be like, oh, you shouldn't do this. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if we can carry on doing this. You need to go away and do that and then come back,
And it's very tricky with eating disorders and personal training. Because I don't want to generalize, but I've had a coach before that was a man, And I've had my own eating issues with binge eating as a child, as a coping mechanism. And then he put me on one of the strictest calorie deficits, which turned into me, for example, on a Saturday, I would just drink vodka.
What?
Shots. Like if I was going to a club and I knew I can't hit the target.
See what I'm saying? It's like,
but like, yeah,
that's
I should not be saying this. I'm in trouble.
no, it's true.
Yeah, I would just count it.
Dropping, are we? So
No, but I would count it and say, okay, that means either today I eat or have 14 shots.
there you go.
And that's why, like, even with you, I was very strict. I said, I don't even want to, I'll count the calories to have an idea, but I didn't want to count calories in a way where I'm limited to that. I want to see food as, this is what my body needs to function.
Yeah.
And this is the type, like, I need vegetables, I need this. Yes. But I didn't want to, like, I've had to heal that because it's not safe. And sometimes we fixate so much on the actual calorie number that you don't realize there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I developed hypothyroidism, and now I've realized through awareness on traumas and stuff, it was all linked to something that happened when I was about 11. And after that, like my metabolism stopped working. I gained 3 times my size in the span of 3 months, and I wasn't really changing what I was eating. And for years, I've taken so many types of medication to heal it. I've tried to work out. And then the past 6 months, I've understood it is connected to that trauma. So I've been doing more trauma release exercises. I shake my bum every day, stuff like that. And the foods that I'm using now, instead of fixating on working out, I've just started eating foods that reduce inflammation.
Yeah.
So I've gone again dairy-free and gluten-free most times,
Yes.
that will help.
That's good.
But yeah, so I would like to know, we were talking about before chakras. So I would like to know your view on emotional trauma linked and attached to your body. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I suppose for me, for instance, like I struggled with anxiety quite, I wouldn't say severely, but I struggled with it a lot when I was younger. I was really like painfully shy, and it has improved a lot, but I still struggle with it here and there. And I think that anxiety definitely stores itself, just like everything, like
like in your gut.
Yeah, but it's different for everyone, I think, you know.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
And this is why the chakra meditation is actually a really good tool to practice for someone who maybe doesn't know where they store their trauma or where they store like stresses and tension in the body. So for instance, like I don't know a lot about the chakras and like yoga, like meditation. I'm not fully educated on it. I've done a little bit of research, but sometimes when I meditate, what I like to do is I envision all, you know, the colored chakras.
Take notes.
And then I just go through them one by one. So
do you start from the top or from the bottom?
It doesn't really matter. I think most people start from the bottom and work their way up. Because for me, for instance, I know that I carry a lot of like stress in my throat and my chest. And for most people who struggle with anxiety, it tends to kind of revolve in this area. So for instance, people who suffer from like, you know, panic attacks and anxiety attacks, it usually starts here in the chest. They feel tight chest, they can't breathe. So when I'm meditating, I usually kind of tend to focus in this area, and I just think about releasing, right? Taking deep breaths in and out and just releasing this tension. And after a while, after a few minutes, you start to feel this sort of, the tightness starts to go away. You feel a little bit more like relaxed. You can breathe a little bit more better or freely. Even. But for someone who doesn't maybe know where they store you know, like tension and trauma, just work your way through. You know, you can get your chart as well on Google, type in, you know, chakra chart, and you'll be able to kind of see like the different colors, what it all means, and then just start working your way through it. And then what you'll find is as you're going through, you'll probably start to feel a little bit of tension or a little bit of like stress in certain areas, and maybe stay there for a little bit. So maybe it might be in your gut. you'll start to feel a little bit of tightness. So stay there for a little bit. Try and think about, breathing in and out, releasing it. And it worked for me.
Yeah.
Give it a go, guys.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think.
I do something similar with opening chakras, and I'm more visual.
Yeah.
So when I need to see colors. So when I envision it, I just imagine like a red flower opening.
Yes.
And then if I need some sort of, for example, my heart chakra is the one that needs more help and is often blocked. Yeah. So what I just envision like a green light expanding and covering me. Or when I feel like I need to speak, I do this sometimes before I do my podcast episodes. From my throat chakra, I just envision like blue, like a turquoise light coming through, and that will make it open up a bit more. Yeah. So you can also do that if you match the colors of the chakra, when you're doing this meditation, it can help you release that.
Have you heard of Reiki healing as well?
Yeah, it's my biggest therapy. It's the thing that helped me the most. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't done it. My friend has done it. She's actually a Reiki practitioner. Yeah. Have you considered doing that? Maybe becoming?
Yeah. So one of my close friends in Australia, she is one as well. And after the first session, that was revolutionary. EFT tapping. Yeah. I think that's what saved me from panic attacks. Wow. So I used to have panic attacks even from being next to people taller than me. So because of something that we'll talk about in another episode, because it's something that happened in childhood. Anybody taller than me, I'll straight up start having issues breathing. I get my anxieties in my gut, for example. I'll just start cramping up. I'll need to go to the toilet after 10 minutes. So yeah, I did EFT, and now after that was instantly fixing something in my subconscious that wouldn't, so it would stop triggering anxiety attacks or panic attacks in me. And then
is that bilateral tapping? Is that what it's called? Bilateral?
No, EFT is emotional freedom techniques where you tap in specific pressure points, and when you tap here, it releases.
Oh yes, I have heard.
It releases. I don't know what's the hormone name, but it releases a specific hormone that counteracts adrenaline. Cortisol, yes. Yeah. So when you do it in specific points. Basically, when you repeat certain statements connected to an event and you tap, it releases a cortisol that will connect in your subconscious brain. So whenever you feel that same factor come up, or you have the same trigger, for example, a taller person than me, mentally it might still think, oh, this could be a warning sign, but my body doesn't produce the adrenaline because it's a mindful. It's so crazy. I didn't realize how instant it was, but if you can do like a free tapping round on a topic or a trigger, then it might come up again, but your body doesn't produce the adrenaline, so it won't create the panic attack. You might still be scared until you've healed it properly. But it was instant. Like I used to have a friend that she was 6'3", and being around her triggered me so much. Although we were friends, my body was always tight. And then after that, instantly I went to see it, and it was fine. So EFT, amazing. I did a session last week.
How many sessions did you have in total? Did you was it?
I did a 6-week course. Well, 6 session. 12 weeks, so once a fortnight with a therapist, so it gives you time to heal. And then Reiki, that as well really energetically helps. Wow. But we'll see if I get into that.
Okay,
but talking for me is another one that's helping me release trauma, because a lot of mine is stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
And it feels like a shoe stepping on it.
Yeah. That's what I feel with anxiety, like it's tightness in your throat. But like going back to cortisol, that's a really big topic that I think I feel like needs to be talked about a lot more, because after reading up about it as well, like cortisol is apparently one of the biggest killers.
Yeah.
Because it all starts in our body, right? It's all like hormones, right? So cortisol is a stress hormone. So for instance, when you suffer from like traumatic events, or when you have lots of trauma like in your body is just constantly on overdrive. It's just constantly under stress, And what happens when you're stressed, when that cortisol hormone is like released, your nervous system is just,
it shuts down. Yeah.
Which means that your blood pressure is all the way up. And when your blood pressure is up, that means, your gut is not going, it's because the gut is connected to the brain as well, right? So when you're stressed, then you start to kind of have all these issues in like physically and
because your body when you go through that, it's thinking in primal time. So I'm on fight or flight right now. There's an animal coming at me. I can't digest, so your digestion doesn't really work. I need to run, so the breathing doesn't really work. Right. Like nothing functions in your body. System is up. Most periods are fucked up in women. Like it's crazy.
And when you're constantly living in that cycle,
messed up,
constantly all the time, your body's just going to end up depleting, and then that's when you get all those diseases like high blood pressure leads to high cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So it is really scary. And even like going back to like training as well, like being a PT, when you've got someone who suffers like with that kind of thing, or like when they're constantly under stress, the last thing you want to do is put them through a high intensity workout, because that releases stress right to the body. So you've got to be so careful with things like that as well.
That's a big thing you mentioned. I stopped doing any high intensity exercises because I realized that although yes, it made me lose weight for 3 months, then after that I would just plateau because my body was stressed. So I didn't realize that all of these high intensity workouts I used to do or dance classes were causing more harm.
Right.
Maybe because of the stress levels. So now, like I always say, I want to live a soft girl life, and the more I've been, like now I will run after I spend months just where my workout is literally like slowly building my muscles, or like a slow dance class rather than something high intensity. Because then if your heart rate, the thing is, nowadays everything is triggering a fight or flight response that shouldn't. Like being in the train, being on a plane, going to work and you're late. Like we're experiencing like life or death
situations.
Stressful, but we're not really.
Exactly.
Like we shouldn't have to, our bodies shouldn't have to respond to all of these normal events, like being late for work. Like you're not going to die. So we need to really work on learning how to calm ourselves down, because if your body is responding to you missing a train by 2 minutes as, oh my God, your life is in danger, let me send you all of this stress, you might die. That's crazy that our bodies are responding to this society like this.
Exactly.
And nature movements, being in nature grounds you. So I have, this is a bit funny. I have a vase of just dirt near my bathtub.
In what?
Near my bathtub, I have like a pot full of dirt. So I can just put my hand in there and feel grounded.
That's good. Do you know what they say? That's the first thing you should do in the morning is, like all the elements, water, air, earth, and fire. So first thing in the morning when you wake up, get yourself out in daylight, because that's the best time to get sunlight. First thing in the morning when the sun is up nice and high, it's bright. So that's your fire. Water, drink water, at least 500 ml or a litre of, maybe not a litre of water all in one go, but like 500 ml of water. Air, get your fresh air, go outside, and then dig your feet into the ground, into soil, ground yourself. That's the best way to start your day, right? I should do that. So, yes.
Okay, good. I laugh at myself sometimes because if you look at my room, I've got a plant every meter, and then I've now collected a pot full of dust I can play with.
I love that. That's probably why people have so many plants in the house as well, so they can surround themselves with nature and infuse the fumes.
It's so healing. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is hips. So, for me, I'm 25. I feel like I used to feel like a 70-year-old woman. Now, maybe I've gotten down to 50.
You're getting there.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm not flexible at all. And I didn't realize that it wasn't necessary just because of, like, I was stretched and do all these things. So, trauma. I went through, some sexual trauma when I was younger. I didn't realize how that impacts you, because I've been trying to do all of these things. I should have said trigger warning, but hips.
Yeah.
Like it all goes there. Like I see girls that are so flexible. I don't understand that. But then if I try to squat down or like lift my leg up, it's just stuck.
Yeah.
Like it's a bone.
So interesting, isn't it? Like women as well, like hips are so important for us because this is where we carry our children in our womb. So, and I think it's so interesting you say that because when you've been through a traumatic event, your body seizes up, right? So then you carry that with you again in life. So even though you've not been through that situation again, like your body is still reacting in that way. So when you're stressed, you're not relaxed, your body seizes up. So this is what happens. Our muscles contract and we get stiff. And then you start feeling stiff in all these places. And that's why you were having back issues. You were having all these... Yeah, and this is where you're feeling
like, why am I an old lady? Yeah.
But it's good because you're saying that it's improved, right? So what have you been doing that's helped with that? It's dancing, right? Shaking your hips.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think like...
Do you do stretching?
I do.
Pilates? We'll do some of that in a bit.
I was going to say we need to do... Yeah, so you're going to show me some exercises. But it's just a normal hips like that tight.
I'll be honest with you, like my hips were tight as well. Like I wasn't super flexible. I still am. My flexibility, my mobility has improved so much since I started training. I've come a long way, but I'm still not like, I can't really do the splits if I'm being honest.
Okay,
like I'm really jealous of girls who can do it.
Yeah.
Like I think some people tend to be more like flexible than others, like people who are hypermobile, right?
Yeah, because I see people sometimes doing stuff that I just don't understand how your body's moving that way. And surely it's not just all trauma. Like I'm trying to think, maybe I need to stretch more, but it's just interesting the stuff. Our bodies can do so much, but then maybe we don't maximize them. We don't use them as much. Yeah.
Like you said, your body's your temple, right? So
exactly.
You gotta, like, you know, be kind to it. You know, when you wake up in the morning, do you find time to stretch? You know, you don't have to take 10 minutes to stretch and start doing yoga, Pilates, but, you know, when you wake up, are you like releasing any tightness and stress, right? Are you? Start doing it.
Yeah.
Find the time.
I'm getting told off. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go into our exercises, or should we go into our exercises and then we do a few like questions and Q&As? Yeah. Okay. So we wanted to go through, I'm going to put some music on. We're going to go through a few various types of mobility exercises, stretches, bum shaking, to release certain trauma. So maybe we can go through all of like the chakras or specific things. So I can take the root and the hips if you want, and maybe the sacral.
I actually really like that.
Okay.
So maybe we should start from top to bottom then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get some music out.
That's really good. And when we get to the hip part, then we can do the...
Yeah, we can do some belly. Because sacral is belly dancing.
Yes.
And then there's... Okay, nice. Should I put some music? Do you want something calming?
Yeah.
I'm going to put some Latin music when I go in.
I love that, yeah.
By the way, this is royalty free, so before you guys come for me...
I'm really into Latin and Afro house at the moment.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
We need to go to Afro Nation.
Yes.
We really need to go to a festival. Okay.
All right, let's do it. So we're going to start by let's soften the knees here. Dig your toes and your heels into the floor. Core is engaged. Oh. And we're going to relax the shoulders. We're going to take our left hand, place it on our right ear. Drop the shoulders here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then as we exhale, we're just going to gently push down on our ear. You should be feeling a nice stretch here on the right side of our neck. And let's do that again. Deep breath in. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gently pushing down. Feeling that really nice deep stretch on the right side of our neck. Releasing any tension that we might be feeling. And let's gently move over to the other side. Same thing here again. So deep breath in and release. These kind of stretches are perfect to do when we wake up in the morning. And again, exhale. Gently pushing down. Lovely. How's that feeling?
Very tight. My neck is tight.
Yeah. So we're just doing 2 rounds here, but you can do as many as you want of like rounds of breathing here and stretching here. And then let's start by just rolling our head just side to side here for now, left to right. And then let's take it all the way around. Again, relaxing the shoulders. When we're stressed or when we're anxious, we seize up, don't we? We get tense, so our shoulders come up to our ears.
Yeah, I'm literally thinking, okay.
Bring it back. Relax. All the way around. I hope you guys are doing this with us too. And let's start bringing our head down towards our chest, rounding the shoulders, curving the spine. And then we're just going to stay here. Make sure you've got a nice soft bend in the knees. And let's just sway here side to side, releasing any tension here in the lower back. That's another big one, right? We get like a tight back. So just kind of soften it a little bit here. Swaying side to side. Feels good, right?
Yeah.
Good, and just keep breathing here. We're going to work our way down. Are you ready?
Are you making me do a burpee?
No. It's like
She's
a half burpee. We're just going to walk out into a plank. And then from here, we're going to dip our hips into the floor. And I want you to squeeze your glutes. I want you to keep your core nicely engaged. Drop your shoulders down and back and look up. Deep breath in and out. Squeeze the glutes. Drop your hips into the floor. It should feel really, really relaxing. And let's twist to our left.
Relaxing.
Does it feel relaxing?
See, to me, if I forget to breathe when I do these yoga poses or these
breathing
poses.
is so important. And sit back into child's pose. So sit back onto your hips. Stretch your arms out in front of you.
Sorry, I'm laughing because this is meant to relax, but I find it stressful sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me.
This is a therapy session. I think it's because I'm disconnected maybe from my body.
Interesting.
So when I do these yoga, I've done yoga classes as well. And when I do it, I just think so much. Okay, am I doing the pose right? Am I doing it correctly? Am I remembering to breathe?
Interesting. So you're very much in your head, right?
Yes.
So let's come around to your left. So you always want to kind of think about connecting the body to the mind, right? Mind to muscle connection. So rather than being like, am I doing this right? Am I breathing? Think about, what am I feeling here? Like, what muscles I'm working? Where am I feeling tension? And then when you feel tension, so for instance, in this exercise that what we're doing now, what are you feeling?
My shoulders are very tight.
Right? Okay.
It feels nice, but then also it just feels tight.
So take a deep breath in. And then exhale, relax the shoulders. See if you can just try and relax the shoulders a little bit. Connect your mind to your shoulders. And just feel the tension just flowing away like water, like waves, just away. Maybe whatever tension you're feeling in your shoulders, feel it all evaporate, going down from your shoulders into your biceps, down into your forearms, into your fingertips, washing away onto the floor. How does that feel? Do you notice your breathing changing as well?
Well, this is what stresses me. I've just forgotten to breathe.
That's okay. Sometimes we don't want to focus too much on the breathing, right? Because then we get into our head. The breathing should just happen naturally. We know how to breathe, right? We don't need to think about how we breathe all the time. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to have to cut this bit out because I'm forgetting already what. Oh, that's it. We're going to go.
I also wanted to check if you can see my underwear. I just realised.
No, you can't. So next we're going to go into what's called cat cows. So this is where you want to focus on your breathing a little bit more. Also, breathing is good because it distracts you from things. So like when you're meditating, we focus on breathing, right? So that we're not thinking too much about other things, right? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to get rid of any stiffness that we're feeling in our lower back. So stack your wrists underneath your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and arch your back. Look up to the sky or to the ceiling. Relax the shoulder blades. And then exhale, round the back, vertebrae by vertebrae, looking towards your navel.
I love this one.
Yeah, that's great. And then deep breath in again. Arch, look up. Hold it here for a second or two. I want you to just notice like your spine like moving through this exercise. So extension, flexion. Everything happening just vertebrae by vertebrae. And then exhale. Deep breath in. Last time. Arch. My head's getting in the way. Exhale. Look towards your navel. Round the back. And then let's kind of intertwine or combine the two exercises we did there. So our cobra pose into our, child's pose. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come into our cobra, push our hips into the floor, and then arch, look up. So deep breath in. And then we're going to sit back onto our heels, exhale, round the back. And again, deep breath in. And then as you're coming into your cobra, I want you to be like in this position. And as you drop your hips, I want your head to be the last thing that comes up. So we're just like imagining our spine, like, vertebrae by vertebrae. So from here, I'm going to tuck my head into my chin, release, exhale, and then take that deep breath in, hips into the floor, just working that spine. Head should be the last thing that comes up. How does that feel?
Yeah.
You feel like your spine should be like a snake.
Yeah, I like that.
Look towards the chest. Exhale. And then last time, deep breath in.
I definitely have some tension in my back that I need to release. I think recently I've just been doing too much.
Yeah, and then add a little twist here. Okay.
Nice.
How did that feel?
Really good.
Good. Should we move on to the hips? I feel like we've worked our way down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's do it.
So this is my part. Let me put I forgot. I have the music on.
Guys, okay.
All right.
Also, it's hard to twerk in leggings. I should have worn jeans.
No, I find
gives
it
you a
hard
bit
to
more
wear
give.
in jeans. These
Really?
are like my special ones though. So.
Like
They're
if
from,
you're wearing a
Bangkok.
skirt or a dress, like it gives you a bit more, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm gonna add this music we've got. So two things. We're gonna do a bit of belly dancing.
Oh,
and
goodness me.
bum. So,
Okay, you're going to have to talk me through this.
so what we're gonna do, let me pause this. So when it comes to hips, we need to like kind of imagine like you've got a rock around you, and as you move, you're gonna just break it off. That's how to release the trauma. Just imagine there's some cloud there and you want to release it. So you would go back with your hip, so with your pelvis floor, left, front, and side.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what you do. And then you could just do it faster.
So like round, like this?
Yeah, so imagine there's like the North Pole, the East, the South Pole, and the West. And you're just going, oh, I'm going to the South, I'm going West, I'm going North, with your pelvis floor. So that's how I see it. That's how you're going.
So
you know this
TikTok.
Yeah. I mean, you know what you're doing. And then you can just move it quickly or you move it slowly. And that's a way of doing it. And then the other way, so I'm going to show you a few ways and then move to the song however you feel like your body needs to do it.
Okay.
The other way, again, you can go forward, backwards, blah, 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 sideways, or, which this is more like the belly dancing, you have 4 points. You have 1 point up here at the top. Then you've got north here, instead of at the front, you've got it here. Left, south, and like down, so on the same line, and then right. So you go up, side, down. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like a diagonal line that you go with your body. So you go, oh God.
Do you kind of lift your chest here?
Yeah, sorry, this is the waist one. So this is like the belly dancing. So you try just mentally go, you go, but then you have to go down as well. So you go down, up, boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Boom. I don't know if that makes sense. So you go, it will look like this, but you're not doing it this way. You're doing it on the same line. I don't know if that makes sense. So instead of doing like this, you're doing, see what I mean?
Like lifting a bit more?
Yeah, so you go up, left, bottom.
Oh, I should not
But
with my
not
hips.
your legs with your
Up,
with
side.
up, down, this way. Yeah, and then you do like a circle this way. Whilst with your hips, you're doing the circle this way.
Oh, goodness me.
So
Yeah,
hips,
it's just going to tail.
wheel, and then the waist is like this. So now I'm going to put the music on. And we're going to start with the hips. Another way, all right. Yeah, just watch this clip. I'm just trying to say, don't make it into a thing.
Yeah.
Another way, if you keep your legs like a bit soft, with your hips, you just move your hips backwards like that. This is what I do daily. So you just push your hips, keep your legs a bit straight, and then you just shake your hips and your bum from one side to the other. That releases a lot of like tension. But not with your knees. Just move your...
I've got stiff hips probably. That's probably why I look at me. I'm like rigid.
No, I'm trying to explain it because you work out. That's different, I think. So you're maybe thinking of the muscles. Think of like your hip.
Yeah.
Keep your legs straight.
Yeah.
And then just move all your body weight on one leg, but with your hips. Like, so rotate your hips where you move this. Can I touch?
Yeah, go on.
So you move your weight like that and then like that.
Mm.
So then do this. Yeah.
Am I doing it?
Yeah, and then you do it quicker. Yeah. But with moving the hips and not the upper body necessarily. So just the hips. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm gonna put some music. And follow me. We'll start with the hips. Ready? We'll do the north to east to south. Okay. There we go, like this. And then you can move it quickly. Then you can use your legs a bit. Then I like to like flow the energy. And then this is how I release it. So it's like an energetic cleaning. So you're just cleaning your aura. This is how I do it to release. Then you can shake. Then you can bring energy up from the ground with your hands.
Love it.
And then that's how I do it. Then you can keep doing your hips. You can do the belly. So you go like this. The belly dancing. And then just do, you're doing it.
Oh, cool.
And then you can do it quickly once. You can do your arms. But when you're releasing, just do whatever your body feels like you need.
Yeah.
So for example, I right now feel like I need to just shake. And then I just do that. Then you can also go like... I'm trying not to do it in a sexual way because I don't want people just clipping me twerking. Because otherwise you can flip it away like that. And you go boom, 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 and you can flip. The way I see it is like, imagine a visual energy block. And then I just shake that away.
That felt good. I feel looser.
Ooh.
That's good. That's what you want, right?
Yeah. Let me
Nice.
put this one. This is the one I want to do. And then you can also just sway your hips. Then you go, ooh, energy away. Ooh.
Shake away.
Shake that away.
Shake that tension.
Salsa is really good to loosen up your hips. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I just like to do a bunch of random movements. Even like this one really helps me with the hips and the legs to loosen up.
Dancing is so good. I was going to say, like, dancing not only is a great form of exercise, like a bit of cardio, but it's so good for like releasing tension, isn't it? Like, just letting go of all your inhibitions, your troubles away.
If you do like a daily shake.
Do you love a little daily shake?
This one, honestly, when I'm stressed, I just go like this.
Shake
and just shake my bum.
Shake the bum.
But yeah, the hips, if you move them, that will really help you open it up. Okay.
Love it.
How does that feel?
That feels good.
Right?
Yeah, after those stretches as well.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I like it because it's not, for me, these type of exercises, don't need to be like super structured. I like to just feel
flow with
feel my body what it needs and just flow, and just in the morning I wake up and I just shake it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Ooh, that was fun. Ooh.
I feel
that
good.
was really, I feel ready to I was going to say to work out. No, I feel ready to just enjoy the day.
Just go.
Yeah. So, triggered. But yeah. No, every morning if you do like the stretches that Daniela gave us and then you shake your bum, that, like, I feel amazing right now.
Yeah, me
like,
too. I feel really energized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel nice. Yeah.
Good.
Well, moral of the story today, would you like to walk us through? I like to, at the end, go through the moral of the story of the episode and what we've learned.
Yes.
So would you like to give us your version? It's not a trick question.
No, I know. I'm just such a deep thinker as well. So
that's why I'm passing it on to you. I'm trying to think, we've gone through so much. I know,
I'm trying to kind of go through everything that we talked about today.
I think important thing is learning to connect with your body.
Yeah.
So understanding what I think that chakra exercise is a great one. I think more of the story, learn how to auto-scan yourself.
Yeah, I love that.
Because when when you do your own body scan, you know what needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
And then you know if it's an energetic block or a trauma block, then you know how to stretch it away or shake it away.
I've got it. Moral of the story is remember that in order for you to be able to connect with your body, you need to be able to connect with your brain as well. You need to be able to intertwine the two, because the topic today was about trauma.
Yeah.
So releasing trauma from the body. And it can only be done when you connect both the mind and the body, right? So for instance, as you said at the start, when you were training, you know, you were doing all these physical things, but you were still having like issues with your immune system and your gut. And that was because mentally, like, you were still struggling with a lot, right? Yeah. And it's vice versa. Even if you're like up here, you might be, you know, I don't know, maybe logically you think that you're doing okay, but yet, you know, you're kind of feeling tension in your body, and maybe
or like physical, like pleasure hurts.
Yeah.
You know, another one is like when you can do as many therapy sessions as you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're like not healing the physical of it,
exactly,
like you can. I've like a lot of people that have experienced certain types of physical trauma. Yes. Like even somebody caressing you, that can be painful. Yeah. And that's the type of physical like release that you can do through exercises, stretching.
Yeah.
Twerking.
You know what? It took me a while to realize as well, like, because like I said, I suffered with anxiety for a lot of my childhood, and I'd say a couple of years ago did I realize that actually a lot of it had to do with my physical as well. I didn't realize that anxiety is not just up here.
Yeah.
It's about like, where are you holding your anxiety? And, you know, it took me a while to realize that, a lot of it was, you know, I was feeling it in my chest. The tightness in my chest that I was feeling had a lot to do with the anxiety, right? So just remember, connect the body to the mind, and once you've done that, then I think like you're pretty much on a roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Would you like to talk about where everybody can find you?
Yes. So you can find me.
You're editing this video, right? So you can add the bubble.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, because at the end of every video, I say, click here, but I don't know how to actually click it. So if you want, you can actually click the button. If you know how to do it.
Oh, I think I know how to. How do you edit your videos, by the way? What do you use?
Premiere.
Oh, Adobe, is it? Adobe Premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine. I think I know.
So guys, you might have a link here to click.
Yeah. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got a few workout videos on there as well. So go and check them out. I'll also tag my Instagram on here as well. So you can find me on Instagram. I post a lot of like videos, like tip videos, like some stuff on nutrition as well. So go and check me out on that. And then I've got TikTok as well, so you'll find me on there.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you do want to work one-to-one with me online or face-to-face, if you live locally, then pop me a message on Instagram and we can get working together.
Yes, I highly recommend.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. And don't forget to subscribe to Soul Revival, like, comment, share. And next week, I don't know actually next week, but I want to talk about soon dating post-trauma. So give me all the comments and the questions that you would like to ask.
Send them in.
I'm going to see if I can get a dating coach. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe you can come as a guest. Like we can do a part 2 with I'm going to see if I can get him on.
Yeah.
My friend. Now that it's live, you're going to have to. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And don't forget to do your exercises.
Yes. And do your burpees. Okay. Yeah. Bye.